Hello and welcome back to StudyOr. If you want a refresher on what a divisibility rule actually is, or the rules for the numbers 2 to 5, check out the video on the upper right hand corner. To see if a number is divisible by 6, you need to combine the knowledge of the divisibility rules for 2 and 3, and the number needs to fit both of these. For example, the divisibility rule for 2 is that the last digit has to be either 0 or even. The divisibility rule for 3 is that all the digits must add to a number divisible by 3. To the left here, we see that we have 288. To check if this is divisible by 6, we first check the last digit if it's either 0 or even. And since 8 is even, 288 is divisible by 2. Now to check if it's divisible by 3, we just have to add 2 plus 8 plus 8, which gives us 18. We can even add up these digits for 18, so 1 plus 8 to get 9, which we know is definitely divisible by 3. So this means 288 is divisible by 6. Okay, so now that we did one example, the next couple of ones should feel like a breeze. So for 972, the last digit is even, and all the digits add up to 18, because 9 plus 7 plus 2 is equal to 18. And we know that 18 is divisible by 3, so this means 972 is divisible by 6. When we check out 3220, we see that the last digit is 0, which is a good sign, because this means the entire number is divisible by 2. But let's try adding up these digits. 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 0 is equal to 7, and 7 is not divisible by 3, which means the entire number, or 3220, is not divisible by 6. And finally, we can conclude right off the bat that 213,741 is not divisible by 6 because it's not even divisible by 2. Okay, take a deep breath because the divisibility rule for 7 is a big one. For a number to be divisible by 7, the difference between twice the unit digit and the remaining part of the number needs to be a multiple of 7, or it needs to be 0. Spoiler alert, 288 is not divisible by 7. That's because twice the unit digit 8 equals 16, and then we need to focus on the remaining part of the number, or the number without the units digit, and then find the difference between that and 16. Well, 28 minus 16 is equal to 12, and sadly, 12 is not equal to 0 or a multiple of 7, so that means 288 is not divisible by 7 either. With 972, we double 2, giving us 4, and 97 minus 4 is equal to 93. Sadly, 93 does not equal 0 or a multiple of 7 either, which means 972 cannot be divided by 7 thoroughly. Now we have to figure out 3220. Well, we need to double 0, which still gives us 0, then subtract 0 from 322, which still gives us 322. And because 322 doesn't equal 0, it needs to be a multiple of 7 for the entire number to be divisible by 7 as well. So technically, if you don't have a calculator, you can continue checking if 322 is divisible by performing the divisibility rule for 7 all over again. So 2 doubled is 4, and 32 minus 4 is equal to 28. We know that 28 is divisible by 7, so this means 322 is divisible by 7, and this even goes back to 3220, our original problem, being divisible by 7. Hooray! It's like dividing Inception minus Leonardo DiCaprio. With 213,741, we can just double 1 to get 2 and then subtract 2 from 21,374 to get 21,372. You could technically continue checking like we did for the previous number, but I'm lazy and I'll just pull out a calculator, and because 21,372 divided by 7 doesn't divide perfectly, we come to the conclusion that 213,741 is not divisible by 7 either. Alright, we gotta keep on pushing because we only have 3 more rules to go. The divisibility rule for 8 is if the last 3 digits of a given number are zeros, or if the number formed by the last 3 digits is divisible by 8, then such a number is divisible by 8 as well. I'm going to be honest with you, this divisibility rule isn't much help for 1, 2, and 3-digit numbers, so for the first two examples, your best bet is to just long divide by 8. However, for longer numbers like 3,220 and 213,741, we can simplify the problem by only worrying about these 3 digits at the end, and just long divide that instead of the entire numbers. After doing this, we come to the conclusion that 288 is divisible by 8, while 972, 3,220, and 213,741 are not. Checking if a number is divisible by 9 requires you to add up all the digits together like the rule for 3. Only this time, you're checking if everything is divisible by 9. Here's what I mean. 2 plus 8 plus 8 is equal to 18, and 18 is divisible by 9. Therefore, so is 288 as a whole. 9 plus 7 plus 2 is equal to 18 as well, so 972 can be divided by 9. Try pausing and doing these last two on your own as practice. Hopefully you found out that 3,220 is not divisible by 9, since 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 0 equals 7 instead of a multiple of 9, and 213,741 is because 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus 1 is equal to 18. And finally, divisibility by 10 is a great note to end on just because it's so easy. Just check the last digit. If it's 0, then congrats, it's divisible. Going back to these examples, we can right away cross out these 3 numbers, since none of their units digits end in 0. However, for 3,220, the units digit is 0, which means that the entire number is divisible by 10. Phew, we did it. I hope this video was helpful, and I highly recommend that you check out last week's video on rules for 2 to 5 if you haven't already. Please be sure to like and comment for continuous content each Monday. Bye everyone!